Hey everyone, same location from the end of my last vlog, and that's because I am on a quick break from work and I thought I would start the vlog. I'm starting it a little later than I wanted to today because this morning I had a doctor's appointment that I went to and I only had time to end the previous week's vlog before starting this one. So we are starting it. I don't have much to say other than I had a doctor's appointment and I'm working now, but I am starting off the week with The Girl Who Drank the Moon by Kelly Barnhill, and it's about this village who believes that there's a witch in the woods, and in order for the witch to not take their children and kill their children or something is to sacrifice one of the babies as an offering to the witch. And they don't know what happens to these babies, but the witch is not an evil witch. She brings the babies to like another village so that another family can raise them. But she keeps one baby because she drinks the moon, which I think gives her some powers. So the witch raises her herself. And this is the story of that baby who is raised by this witch. Very basic premise. I bought this so long ago. I haven't looked at the synopsis since I bought it, so that is going on refresher, going based on my memory, so hopefully I got it right. I will update you if I didn't. But this is the book that we're starting with this week, and I've had this for a very long time, and it's middle grade. I would like to read either a middle grade or like a childhood favorites every month, just for like a break in like the adult books that I read. And also I just really enjoy middle grade when I do pick them up. So this is what I'm doing this month, although I am also reading Percy Jackson with Will because we wanted to watch the show, but I've never read Percy Jackson, so I'm reading that and then we're watching the episode once we've read all the chapters that episode correlates to. That is going on a whole different tangent, but anyway, welcome to the start of the vlog. This is what we're starting with. My break is almost over, so I'm gonna get back to work, and yeah, welcome to the vlog. But so this is me immortalizing the fact that I in fact did look cute today while work was awful. Very exciting package I get to open on my lunch break. It is not from Fairy Loot. I'm just throwing stuff around. Ugh, 1 second. Absolutely thrilling. I thought I wouldn't be able to get this edition because it's like it is out of print in hardcover, and they're insanely expensive on resale sites, but I found this for a reasonable price on Pango Books. Oh, wow. Even Charlotte says, oh, wow, you could hear. So I am thrilled because I have the hardbacks for book 2 and 3, and I have the paperback for this one, but I didn't like it because I wanted the hardcover. Well, now I have the hardcover, and I can give my mom the paperback. So we all win. Quick update at 9:30 on a Thursday night. Still haven't read any of the book that I said I was going to read. Did read a little bit more of Percy Jackson tonight. I blame it on Real Housewives of Salt Lake City because we are at the arrest of Jen Shaw, which has been wild. Just incredibly amazing television. And also I had another bad day at work. So that's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. Am I going to read tonight? Maybe. We'll see. I have Important Housewives to watch, and that's really what I plan on dedicating my time to tonight. And I think that's a worthy endeavor. Also, I did paint my nails.
They're so pretty.
They're so pretty. Because I, unlike the Real Housewives, cannot afford to get my nails painted and 2 pedicures a week. The Real Housewives, they're just like us. But anyway, I'll maybe check in later if I do any reading. Chances are I won't. Hey everyone, it is the end of the day on Friday. I'm punched out of work. I am sitting on the couch and I am going to finally pick up The Girl Who Drank the Moon. Charlotte is at work tonight until 9:30, so I still have like a little bit over an hour before she gets home. So I'm going to dedicate that time to reading The Girl Who Drank the Moon. But I did start listening to my nonfiction audiobook for the month. I was able to listen to a little bit over 3 hours of In the Heart of the Sea, The Tragedy of the Whale Ship Essex by Nathaniel Philbrick. This is not one that I necessarily would have picked out for myself. I am not very interested in whaling or ships that were whaling in 1819. But my dad actually gave me this book to read, so I'm reading it. It's been good so far. It's not as boring as I thought it was going to be in the 3 hours that I was listening. This is where we're at. So essentially this is about, obviously, the whale ship Essex from Nantucket, Massachusetts in 1819 when they were sunk by a sperm whale they were hunting. This is what inspired Moby Dick by Herman Melville. Midnight's pushing my camera. Hold on. Midnight, we can't be doing that. So this is what inspired the story Moby Dick by Herman Melville. And essentially, this boat was doing some whaling. Obviously, what else would a whale ship be doing? And they had sailed all the way from Nantucket all the way down the Americas, down past South America, and then they kind of came up around the Indies, I think, if I'm remembering correctly, if my brain processed that information correctly. And they were trying to hunt this sperm whale, and the sperm whale attacked the ship, and it sunk the ship. And then due to some other issues that they had like earlier on in their voyage, they were down at least one ship. So there were usually like 3 other ships on the whaling ship, but there were only 2. And so now we have some survivors who are on these smaller ships, I think. And they are going to try to make it back. And obviously, at least some of them do, because we know about what happened for the whale ship Essex, especially since this was happening in like 1819. Obviously, word had to spread somehow. I do think that this does involve some cannibalism, so if that's not your thing, then maybe don't pick this up. And also, maybe if you're not interested in whaling, this might not be the thing for you. But if you are interested in learning about something new, this has not been as boring as I thought it would be, and I think that's high praise. Am I going to tell my dad that? Probably not. I'm probably just going to text him and say that I'm finally reading it. He gave it to me so long ago to read, but it does feel good to actually have like the equivalent of 96 pages read today, especially since this week has been difficult for sitting down and reading, because this week at work has been awful, and we just got some news that is going to make the issues that we've already been having worse, which is not exciting for me going into work tomorrow. But tomorrow is my Friday, and then I don't have to worry about it until Tuesday when I go back to work. So only one more day of having to deal with this, and then we'll be done. Charlotte will be home again in like an hour, and then we'll probably watch some more Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. But until then, we are going to read The Girl Who Drank the Moon by Kelly Barnhill. It is 5:40 and I am out of work today. I worked early. I logged in at 8, and so I got out at 5 today to help with some coverage. And it feels so good to be out of work already at 5 instead of 8. So the weekend starts now. My mom is coming to see us tonight, and we're eating a late dinner so that we can eat with Charlotte when Charlotte gets out tonight. So I'm gonna have a little snack, and I am gonna read a little bit of The Girl Who Drank the Moon. I did read about, let's see, Midnight. She thinks it's dinner time, but it's not dinner time. I read only about 40 pages last night before I fell asleep on the couch because Midnight was cuddling on top of me, and that's like a recipe for falling asleep. because she purrs and she's so cute and she just like conks me out. So I am going to read a little bit more of this. It was so cute to start. Essentially, we have this town. Hi, Midnight. Essentially, we are set in this town where they believe that there's a witch in the woods who they have to sacrifice a baby to every single year. And usually the parents understand that this is just the way the world works and they have to make the sacrifice. But the sacrifice this year, the mother freaks out. So we already know it's a little bit different than usual. And then we meet the witch who is there, and who does take these children, but she doesn't know that the children are being sacrificed to her as a way to keep this town safe. Can I help you? You're just gonna lay like this? What? Oh my goodness. We have to let Midnight get comfortable. Anyway, so she doesn't realize that these kids are being left in the woods each year as a sacrifice to her for her to not damage this town, because that's not what she does. So she just thinks these babies are getting abandoned, and she brings them to one of the other free cities through the woods. And along the way, she feeds the kids Starlight, which Starlight does have magic in it, but it's not magic. And so these kids who are brought to these other cities are blessed and they have very nice lives. But on this occasion, our witch has a different kind of connection to this child almost immediately, and she's not really paying attention. She doesn't follow the same route that she usually does, and when she goes to feed the baby Starlight, she also feeds the baby Moonlight, and Moonlight is magic. And so now this baby has been enmagicked, and so she can't bring the baby to another family to raise, so she decides to raise the baby on her own. And there's also this swamp monster who I already love. He's very gruff and kind of grumpy, but like in a good way. And there's this little tiny dragon who thinks that he's going to be big dragon, but he's not going to be a big dragon, but he's so cute and I love him so much already. So I'm thoroughly enjoying this, and I am going to continue reading it. And I also finished my audiobook for In the Heart of the Sea by Nathaniel Philbrook, The Tragedy of the Whale Ship Essex. Now, I did give this book like a 3-star read. It was really a lot more interesting than I thought it was going to be. I wasn't sure how interested in whaling I was going to be, and while I enjoy the metaphor for cannibalism as toxic love, I'm not really too keen on learning about cannibalism that's been practiced out of survival, out of necessity, of course, but it's never been something that has really greatly intrigued me. But this book was very well researched. The writing was very good. It told the story in a way that kept me engaged for most of it. There were definitely some times when I kind of spaced out and then came back, but that often happens when I'm listening to nonfiction. So like, it was technically a very good book and very well written, but it was a lot of information about boats and whaling and whales and other expeditions that have involved cannibalism and other things of that nature. It was fascinating that in the year that Moby Dick came out, there was another ship that was attacked and sunk by a whale in the same spot that the tragedy of the whale ship Essex happened. And Moby Dick was obviously inspired by this story, or by this tragedy. So I did think that was interesting. But ultimately, I really think I'm only going to give it like a 3-star because I didn't love it. And it certainly wasn't like a 5-star all-time favorite, but it was interesting. I think I'm much more critical when it comes to nonfiction, and it's much harder for me to give a nonfiction like a 5-star read because I don't have the same kind of enjoyment level as I have for fiction when I'm reading nonfiction. So for someone who really likes nonfiction, I'm sure this would get a higher rating, but it's just not me. But I did really enjoy it. I would highly recommend for anybody who is interested in Moby Dick or who's interested in tragedies of boat wrecks and ships sinking and any kind of historical event like that. Or if you're just interested in reading a nonfiction. This was not bad, and the audiobook was really good. The narrator, who was... Here is my phone. Because I listened to it on Spotify, because they are doing that thing now where you get 10 hours. Or 15 hours or something like that. So it's narrated by Scott Brick, and it was very good, and it's included in your Spotify Premium. So if you have that and you want to read a nonfiction book this month or any month, I would recommend this. So yeah, that's my update. Midnight and I are just going to chill. Midnight's making some biscuits. She's very busy. She's behind on her schedule. She's been sleeping all day. And then I'm gonna go out with my mom and hang out with my mom and starting the weekend off strong. Good morning. It is actually the afternoon on Sunday, so today is kind of like my Saturday, so I let myself sleep in a little bit this morning, and now I am out in the living room. I do have some chores that I want to get done this weekend, like today and tomorrow, but I'm just not ready to jump into those yet. I want to clean my room. I want to get some laundry done, but first what I'd really like to do is do some really good reading in The Girl Who Drank the Moon, because if I could finish this weekend, then that would be 2 more books read this week and 2 books read in the vlog, and I personally think that that's a really attainable goal for me if I'm dedicating the time to reading. That being said, I would also love to play some Baldur's Gate this weekend, either today or tomorrow. I love that game so much. It's one of my favorite things. It's brought me so much comfort. I was really struggling mentally towards the last quarter of the year last year, and I threw myself into Baldur's Gate. And I haven't played it yet this year, actually. I've just been doing some other things. Actually, I did play a little bit of it. But I only played a very tiny bit of it because I was playing on my laptop instead of my computer because I was being lazy and I didn't want to sit at my desk. And I tried to take a screenshot and my laptop was like, you don't have enough space for this. And I was like, oh, well, then I'm not going to play because I want to be able to take screenshots. So, I didn't get to do too much, so I would really like to dedicate some time to that this weekend and give myself some good hours into Baldur's Gate because it is one of my favorite things to do. But I'd really like to make some progress on this first, and then maybe once I start doing some laundry, I can play some Baldur's Gate, like, while I'm waiting for, like, the loads and stuff to be done. So maybe that'll be the plan. Charlotte is out at 6 tonight, which is exciting because we will have, like, the whole night together. It is a 3-day weekend from school, so Will is still at his dad's house until tomorrow evening. So me and Charlotte will have the night to ourselves to do some things and spend some time together, which will be nice. But yeah, I am going to get to reading. I think I'm going to read for maybe an hour and then get started on chores. I think that's a good thing to do, to set myself a time limit. So I'm going to set a timer. We are going to see how much I can read in an hour. I'm on page 40 right now. So I will check back in an hour and let you know just how much I'm able to read in an hour of a middle grade novel, because I feel like since the writing is different, the amount of pages I can read in an hour is probably different compared to a middle grade and a adult or a YA book. So I'll let you know. We got an emergency weather warning for whiteout conditions, and it is keeping its word. We're having a nice little snow squall right now. Midnight can't hang. Fell asleep during Real Housewives.
She's in a wet food coma.
She said this reunion was boring. Good morning. It's Monday. It's the last day of the vlog. And I have started to do some chores. I have some laundry going. I have a pile of laundry that I have to fold next to me. But I am going to read for a little bit while I have the laundry in the washing machine, and then I'll pause, you know, and change over and whatnot. But I haven't read this morning yet, and even though I have this much left of this book and the vlog is ending today, I want to at least try to finish it up, because I think if I made the effort, I could finish it, and then I'd have read 2 books for the vlog, and that would just, I read 2 books for last week's vlog. If I can read 2 books for this week's vlog, it could be like a pattern. Will I maintain 2 books every week this year? Most likely not, but we can try, right? So I'm gonna wait to fold the clothes because I don't really feel like doing that right now. And I'm going to read, and then we'll just see how the day goes. But we're really going to try to finish this today. That's the goal. Okay, so I finished The Girl Who Drank the Moon. I cried. It was so cute at the end. I'm gonna sit on it a little bit, but I think I'm going to rate it a 4, maybe a 4.5. I just didn't get like that 5-star feeling, but I did really love it. So next up for the TBR is finally A Court of Silver Flames. I got this literally like the day it came out, and I haven't read it. I was talking about how I was gonna do a reread of the whole ACOTAR series before I read this one, but I just don't have the time for that, so I did just watch a like recap of the first 4 books in the series, and I think I'm ready to just go ahead and pick it up. Nesta, I know this is an unpopular opinion, but I've always loved Nesta. I think she gets a lot of hate for really no good reason, especially since if you really want to look at it, each of the Archeron sisters are different ways of dealing with grief. And I don't think one way is the right way to grieve or to struggle or to deal with difficult times in your life. So I think the hate that Nesta gets just because she's the eldest sister is unfair, and I love her, and I'm really excited to read this. I think the fact that I love Nesta so much is one of the reasons why I've been putting it off, because I'm afraid that it won't live up to my expectations. But I'm excited to read it. I don't know if I'm going to be starting it tonight, but if I don't start it tonight, this will be the book I start in the vlog I'm starting tomorrow. I'm about to sit and fold all that laundry, or fold all the laundry that I have done, because it's all washed and dried, at least most of it. It's all the laundry I'm going to do today. So now I have to fold it all and put it away, which is I'm not looking forward to, but it is what it is. Anyway, I'm gonna get to folding this laundry. I'm gonna stop talking about folding the laundry and just do it.